Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you for coming on to my Facebook Live this evening. Let me bring up my iPad so I can watch the comments. Okay, I'm probably just a minute or two early, so I'm just going to wait for a few seconds to let everybody get on board. Let me get all my things over here and get situated. I've got a delay on my iPad here, so I'm kind of watching for comments for anybody coming on. Be sure that you comment and say hi when you come on so I know that you're here. If you're not in Arkansas, please say what state you're in so we can kind of see. It'd be fun to know where everybody is. All right. I'm just going to give a few seconds here and let everybody to get here. Hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy. All right. And my video's doing that interrupted thing again. I hope it's not going to be the norm for tonight. But I know last week it was just mine that was doing it. I don't think anybody else's was doing it, so hopefully that's the case. All right. Like I said, be sure you say hi. And be sure that you share and like the video also. And if you're watching this on YouTube later tomorrow, be sure that you subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And I think there's a like button on there too, so click that like button also. Okay, not seeing any comments yet, so... Alright, broadcast has been paused. It should resume shortly. Yeah, I don't understand what that is, why it's doing that. Hi Diane, glad you come on. I'm just giving a couple seconds here for everybody to get on Facebook with us, so hope you're doing well. We're doing good here. I'm still getting those weird pop-up messages on my iPad that says that the video is interrupted, but I don't know if that's just on mine. I'm hoping it's only on mine and not anybody else's. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn you around here, and we're going to get started. If you get dizzy, close your eyes while I turn the camera around. Okay, all this technical stuff. Some people have that switcheroo thing, but I'm not that tech savvy yet to get something like that, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Let me see how crooked I am. Yes, it is a beautiful evening. I'm glad to have the humidity lower so it's not so bad. Alright, bring our lighting in over here. Thinking that's pretty good. I can maybe zoom just a tiny bit. No, that might have been a little bit too much. Let me tweak it just a little bit more here. Alright, let me see what that looks like. We might just leave it as is. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm trying to see where I am here. I might have done too much there. Yeah, I did a little bit too much. Now every time I try to move this, it says rotate your device. So I don't know. Between my iPad and my phone, I'm not sure which one's giving me more fits. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, like I said, my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and that's in the United States if you're out of the States. My Facebook Live is Creating Cards with Debbie, and you can shop my store for any of the items that I'm doing today at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And you can email me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And here's my blog address here. It's www.creatingwithdebbie179.blogspot.com. And to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, here's the Paper Pumpkin address that you sign up with under me. And that's also in the description of the video if you miss it and aren't able to copy all that. Okay, so the Paper Pumpkin for September is you're still able to sign up for, and it's called Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit. And you have until September 10th to sign up for that one, which is coming up in just a few days here. Hi, Jackie. Glad you're here. Okay, so the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit. It says experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples or you're ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. And the kit contains everything that you'll need to complete the projects, and it's 12 treat boxes. And it comes with an exclusive stamp set and a classic Stampin' Spot. And with your very first kit, you'll receive an acrylic block also. So all you have to furnish would be possibly some liquid glue and your scissors. Okay, yeah, this Paper Pumpkin box it has treat boxes, which are, you can pick apple, pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern treat boxes. And also the box itself, you can transform into a vintage wheelbarrow to display your harvest. So if you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be glad to help you. Okay, so our celebration, I've got a marking here, I need to take out my bookmark there. Celebration is still going on until the end of September, which is September 30th. So with that, every $50 that you spend, you're able to choose an item out of here free. And there's some $50 items, and then there's some in the very back that are $100 items. So, and with celebration going on, Stampin' Up! Is doing a promotion for joining my team. It says, pick a free bundle when you join. So what that is you pay $99 for your kit, and that's $125 worth of product that you get to choose anything. And on top of that, you'll also get to pick out one of these 12 bundles. And I think I've got it. Maybe you can see this one better. There's 12 different bundles there, and the highest priced one is $60.25. And you can have that absolutely free with your kit. So on top of getting that $99, paying for only $125 plus that bundle, You also get a free paper pumpkin with that also. So you're looking at over $200 worth of products for only $99, and that's free shipping. You do pay for the sales tax, but the shipping is free. So if you have any questions on that, also be sure that you ask me. Don't hesitate. And our mini catalog, our July-December mini catalog is still going on until December 31st. So you've got a while on that to go. But be sure you don't wait too much longer on the celebration, because the items are until while supplies last. So it is a possibility they could run out of items that you might want. So I think that's all the news that I need to do. So let's go ahead and get started with our stamping and with our projects. And my first card is going to be a fun fold. And it's called an accordion fold. And so this is kind of a fall card, or it could be a man's card. Right? And you could put any sentiment in here that you might like, but I'm just doing a hello and then thinking of you as my sentiments. And I'm just using, we're going to be using our designer series paper, which is from the Peaceful Prints. And this is one of the celebration items that you can get free with a $50 order. So these are really cute. It's got the reindeer and it's got snowflakes, and we're going to be using this one. No, that was the one I was going to do, but I changed my mind. I'm going to do this one instead with the reindeer on it, and then kind of a plaid on the back side. So with this fold, you're able to see both sides of the paper, not just one side, so you kind of get more use out of that. So we're not using a regular card base. This is going to be our card base right here, just the designer series paper. So let me get my paper trimmer out here, and we're going to do some scoring. Make sure I don't hit my camera here. And I need my instructions. That might help a little bit. And my bits and pieces. And I know I've got instructions in here. Where did they go? Well, it was in here. Well, where did I put them? Goodness, I hope I didn't lose them. But here's the stamp set that we're using. It's the Deer Builder, or the Peaceful Deer, and this also has a punch. It comes as a bundle. And we're going to be using the hand-drawn blooms for one of the sentiments out of there, the hello. And the sentiment, thinking of you, out of the Quiet Meadow stamp set. So I've got to find my instructions. What did I do with them? I just had them just a few minutes ago. Did it get stuck in here? No. There they are. They were hiding. Okay. And we're also going to use another free item that's in that celebration. It's called the Bedazzling 6x6 specialty paper. And it's kind of glittery, but it doesn't come off, which is good. You don't have all the glitter flaking all over the place. And we're going to be using the Tasteful labels as our labels that we're using, and some linen thread. So I'm going to open my arm here on my trimmer, and we're going to go ahead and start here. This was 12 inches and then 5 1/4 inches, and we're going to score it at 1 inch, 4 inches, and 8 inches. So let me go ahead and do that. 1 inch. Yes, there is, Diane. I like the deer paper. That's really cute. Okay, 1 inch, 4 inches. I think that's probably the favorite designer series paper that's in the celebration. It's my favorite. Okay, and then again at 8 inches. So it's 1, 4, and 8. And when you're scoring on the Designer's Series paper, it's not as thick as our cardstock is, so you don't want to push really hard because you can rip your paper. So do it hard enough to make the creases in it, but not hard enough to go all the way through. So I'm going to fold this one this way, and this one goes this way, and this one will go this way. So that's how you get the accordion fold. And we're going to bring our bone folder in here, and we're going to burnish those edges. Alright, and we're just going to set that aside because we're going to bring in our layers. And I'm using the Sahara Sand cardstock, and I have 2 of these, and these measure 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And then I have the Berry Vanilla, which measure 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and you'll need 2 of each of those. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those together. Is your video pausing on your side, or is it just on mine again? Alright, we're going to keep a small border going around our edges. I've got 3 cards prepared for tonight, but I'm going to see what our time allows. I may have to do just the 2 again. Your side's fine, Diane? Good. It might be just on my side. I'm hoping that's what the problem is. I just won't look at my iPad when it's going off and on. And then it won't bother me any. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Or we're going to do some stamping. Let's do our stamping first. I'm going to stamp our... Oops, that's sticking to my paper. My deer is going to go there, and then we've got a little ground here we're going to stamp. And, whoa, that's sticking to my paper for some reason. Well, that's not good. I'm going to have a problem with that now. Let me get a baby wipe here. I should have stuck these upside down instead of face down onto my paper, I guess, because now they stuck to it. And now it's stuck to my stamp. And let me see, get my scrubby out here. Need my chamois. So I can get my tree cleaned off. Alright. I think I got it all off. Yeah. Okay, don't do that. I had it sticking to my paper. I should have had them upside down, not facing down. All's well. I fixed it. Okay, so we're going to take our black Memento ink and we're going to stamp our deer. But first I'm going to take Sahara Sand and I'm going to stamp the ground for the deer and the tree. And that's this little squiggly looking one. And I'm just going to put it at the bottom here. And one on this side for the tree. Alright. Close that up. And we're going to stamp our deer. I didn't want a real stark green tree, so I'm using the soft succulent for the tree. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to do second generation stamping and third generation stamping, which just means that it's going to be, each one's going to be lighter than the previous one. All right. So I'm just going to set those aside for now. We're going to put those inside the card later. The dies that I'm using are from the Tasteful Labels dies. And I'm using this one and this one, and we're going to layer them together. So this one's going to cut out the Bedazzling paper, specialty paper, and I've already done that. I've already die cut that. But this one is going to cut out the very vanilla, and that's what we're going to stamp our sentiment on. So let me go ahead and get our baby boss over here, and we'll go ahead and die cut that. Put our plates down. And place that down on there. I could have used a bigger piece of paper, I guess. It's just barely fitting, but it'll work. I just don't want it to move here. All right. All right. And we can set her aside for a minute. I'm not sure if I got to use her again, so I'll just leave her handy. Alright, let's put the dies away so we don't lose them. Nothing more frustrating than losing labels and dies, and especially when it's your favorite. Okay, so here's our little label. We're going to stamp our sentiment on there, or our deer, and then our sentiment. So we're going to use some little, I think this is probably the sand or dirt underneath her. And we're going to use a little, sweet little baby deer. And the hello that was from the other stamp set, the, which one was that? That was out of the hand-drawn. And I'm just going to use the black Memento ink to stamp our hello. So I'm just going to stamp that up in the upper corner, upper left corner. And I'm going to stamp the little dirt down at the bottom for the deer to sit on. I guess it's rocks. And we're going to stamp the deer using the black Memento ink. And we're just going to center that on top of the rocks there. I should have been using my piercing mat underneath. This is photopolymer, but I lucked out there. It looks okay. And then I'm going to use the blends, which are the light and dark crumb cake. We're going to start out with the dark crumb cake, and we're going to color our deer. And I'm going to put some paper underneath here in case it leaks through, keep my work surface a little bit cleaner. And I'm just going to put a little of the dark as our shading, where the shadows might be. And I'll also color her tail dark. And that's all I'm going to use the dark for. So let's come back in with the light crumb cake and color her in. And she's so cute. I love baby deer, they're so cute. Especially when they still have their spots yet. Okay, so that's all the coloring we're going to be doing. And like I said before on your blends, be sure that you hear that click when you're putting the lid back on to make sure they're closed all the way. Yeah, Diane, I have a magnetic dish too, but you think I'm using it? No. I need to be. Oh, Mickey, that's cute. Your granddaughter calls herself Queen of Close Cuts. Yeah. I guess I'm prone to do that too pretty often. Trying to save paper, I guess. I don't know. We're all paper hoarders in one way or the other. Okay. So we're going to use some glue dots to attach this to the specialty paper. I want to make sure that it stays on there. I could use my glue, but I want to make sure it stays, so I'm going to use my glue dots. So, and I'm just going to put that on the back. Glad you could join, Vicki. Did you get any of that bad stuff that New York got, the flooding and all that stuff? That was awful. And Louisiana. We didn't have too much of the remnants of it. We had wind, and a little bit of rain, but not a lot. So we're going to put that in the middle of our die cut there. And I feel like I'm all thumbs again tonight. I don't know. Sometimes my fingers just don't want to work. That's good. I was wondering about you. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to put just our glue in the center portion. And I'm just using a liquid glue. You could use your seal or whatever you want to use, but I'm just using the glue, liquid glue. And we're going to place that over the front of that 1-inch flap. And I'm just going to press it to make sure it sticks really good. Alright, so we got our front flap finished, so we're going to go ahead and start doing the inside. And just place my card. Okay. So we're going to glue this deer on this inside flap. And I'm just going to center that. And I'm going to put the tree one on the next flap. And I want to line them up so they're straight here, so that they're matching. Which is always a challenge usually for me. I think I had a little bit of ink on my finger. Got kind of a smudge there, but it could be a cloud. Okay, so let's stamp our sentiment, which is... Where is my sentiment? It's not in here. Oh, okay. It's hiding on me. It fell underneath my paper. Thinking of you. And we're going to use the black memento ink again. And I'm just going to stamp that right up there to kind of cover that smudge I had. There. I've got black ink on my fingers from somewhere. It might be on my cover of my ink pad. Okay, I just don't want to transfer it here. So here's the inside of our card. And it folds just like this. And we're going to decorate the little deer there a little bit. I'm using the gold gilded gems. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. Yes, Vicky, I think it's my favorite too. I'm going to hate to see it go. It's only running while celebration's going on. So I got to hurry up and use it a lot before it leaves us. All right, I'm going to place 3 of the small ones on the front of our card. And I'm going to add another one over on the side here to kind of decorate that a little bit. And then I've got some linen thread that I've already tied a bow, and we're going to add that to the bottom of our label, just underneath the deer, using a glue dot. And I'm just going to roll the glue dot into a tiny ball so it goes up underneath the ribbon, okay, the trim, without sticking out. Let's see. Well, goodness. Just wanted to pop out of there. Stay there, little guy. Okay, so there we have our accordion fold. Our deer. Hello, thinking of you. It looks like my video froze. Goodness. Are y'all frozen? Yes, Diane, it's really simple, and it's one way of using up your designer series paper, so without having to use a card and card base underneath it. Is everybody froze? No? It must be just my end. I don't understand. Well, as long as I can see comments and you can all see me. I don't know what's going on there. Huh. Okay. It just wants to give me a hard time. Alright, let me close up my ink pads here. What if I can do a refresh? No. Well, I'm just going to continue. Good old Facebook, I don't know what's going on half the time. Alright, so our next card is going to be a Christmas one. So I know it's early, but us stampers have got to get a head start because we got Christmas cards we got to get done. And really, it's not that far off. So here's our Christmas card. It's joy. And it says, may the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. And this is using the Whimsical trees and dies. And here's the dies. And also the designer series paper, which is gorgeous. I gotta tell you, it is. Let me open it here and I'll show you. Let me go out and come back in. Maybe I can fix this because that kind of bugs me. There it is. Okay. Alright. Very good. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was on my side it froze. Could be my iPad. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take it all out. It's got the gold foil on one side, and then it's just plain on the other side. And Here's some presents. We're going to be using the presents. We're going to be fussy cutting those out to use. And here's the trees. Those are so pretty. And the dies will also cut these out too. So if you didn't want a fussy cut, you could use the dies on those. And we've got pink snowflakes that are silver foil. And then real bright stripes on the other side. And this isn't the traditional Christmas colors, which I kind of like. I don't know, something different. It's not just your reds and greens. We've got pinks and different colors that we can use. I'm looking for one more. There's one more here, which is this one. And that's probably blinding. The stripes, and then it's got the snowflakes on the other side. I think that's all. Oh, no, there's another one. And then we've got the ornaments that are gold foil. And then the stars and trees on the other side. This is another one of my favorites. I think between this one and the Deer Designer Series paper, the two are my favorites. And this is in the mini catalog. So, alright, so let's get started here. Like I said, here's the card, and then here's the inside. Let me get all our bits and pieces out here, and I got the instructions, so I don't have to worry about looking for them. And like I said, we're not doing traditional colors for Christmas. We're doing kind of pastel colors instead, which this is, which color is this? The Mint Macaron cardstock, and it's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish the edge of that. And another basic white is going to be our inside, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we'll just tuck that right there for now, and we'll get to the other parts of it instead. The Designer Series paper, we're using this one, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And this is the back side of it, which is cute too. So that's going to go there. And then we've got, I die cut basic white using, which dies did I use? I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm using the larger, well, the second to the largest. And then for the sentiment, I'm using this for the Blushing Bride, which is this one, and then this one for the white, basic white. And I had that cut. Where did I put it? Yeah, okay, well, where did it go? It's so little, I probably lost it. Well, I don't know. And the ink that we're using is going to be the Mint Macaron. I may have to cut another one. Oh, here it is. It was stuck on my ribbon. There it is. That was using the smallest one. And the ribbon that we're using is the metallic ribbon, the Blushing Bride, which is really pretty. Okay, so let's start assembling here. I want to cover up my black ink pen, set that aside. Alright, we're going to take our Christmas tree and we're going to stamp that onto our Stitch So Sweetly die cut using the Mint Macaron ink. And we're just going to stamp that in the center. And we're going to stamp our Sentiment Joy onto our smaller white die cut using the mint macaron. Okay. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the inside also while we got the ink out. Let's keep going here. And I'm using the 3 ornaments. And I need to get a piece of scratch paper over here to lay underneath so I don't make a mess. And smudge on there. So we're just going to stamp 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. So we're going to put 2 over here. And I'm going to kind of alter them so they're not all the same length. Well, the outer 2 are, but the center one is up higher. So I think that's all we got to stamp. No, we got the sentiment yet. One more thing. And we'll put that in the center. Okay, now we can put our ink away. And we'll start assembling. Okay, so our little die cut, we're going to put that up on dimensionals. And I just opened a brand new sheet of dimensionals. What a good feeling. That's so fun. Doesn't have to be too much to make us happy, does it? Yeah, Vicki, I agree. I think we're on the same page. Got the same likes here. Okay, so I'm going to take our ribbon before we get too far into this. We're going to take our ribbon and we're going to tie that around the center. But I'm going to use just some Scotch tape to hold it in place on the back side. So I don't really want it in the center. I'm kind of putting it down mid-center, a little lower. I guess I should say off-center. That would make more sense. And come back with our snips and snip that. Alright. And I thought I made a bow. I guess I didn't make a bow. We're going to have to come back in and make a bow for this little guy. Okay, so now we can attach this to the front of our card. And I'm just using the liquid glue. You could use your seal or glue or whichever you prefer. I guess my go-to is usually the liquid glue. I use that the most. So we're going to center that on the front of our card base. Okay. And now we can take our dimensionals off the back of this. Let me get my take your pick tool to pop those off. And we're going to put that off to the left side of our card front. And we might as well do our sentiment while we're at it. We're going to just glue him down to the blushing bride. Die cut. And center it. And we're going to put that on dimensionals also. Now it's going to put 2, 1 at each end. And that's going to go in our upper right hand corner. Like that. And now we're going to do some fussy cutting. We're going to, I've already cut out the presents, but I need to fussy cut around them I've already done one, so I just need to do 2 of them. And it's easy, you just go follow the line. So this won't take very long. Yeah, I've got to glare with my light here, so I kind of get over to the side here so it doesn't blind me and I can see what I'm doing. And this one's pretty well straight lined. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to arrange our presents. And I'm going to put one to the left of the tree and one over here. And put this one in the center. So we're going to glue this one down first, the tall one. And put the other green one to the side, the mint macaron. I thought I had it upside down at first. I had to take a second look at that, which way my ribbon was going. And this one we'll put right there. Okay, so now I need to make a bow. And I thought I'd already had made one and put in here, but I guess I didn't. So let me grab my bow jig, and we're going to make a bow, and hopefully I'm not all thumbs here. So this is my bow jig. I'd be lost without it, because I can't tie a bow for nothing, it seems like, and especially when I'm on camera. I don't know what that is, but when somebody's watching you, I guess it makes you nervous or something. So I'm going to get my tails to go the right direction here. And more of an ankle. There we go. And I should have turned those the other way. We'll make it work. So we're going to need another glue dot here for our bow. And I think I'll put 2 on there to make sure I've got a good sticking. And we're going to place that onto our ribbon there. Okay, set the ribbon aside. And our dies. Diane, I think you're right. I ought to have my magnet bowl here. Then I won't be losing any dies. Next Facebook Live, I think I need to be using it. Okay, so we've got some gems here, which are the champagne rhinestone basic jewels. We're going to put 3 of those on to our card front. And I'm going to use the small ones. And our third one we're going to use as our tree topper. Like this. And now we have to do the inside. We've got that all done, we just got to glue it in there, and then we'll be finished. And center it, make sure we don't have it upside down. I've done that before. Yes, I think they're pretty. They're not gold, but they're kind of a yellowish gold, I guess it would be. They're pretty. I need to order some more. I don't have too many left. I guess I've been using them a lot too. So here we have our card, Joy. And may the love of the season warm your home and fill your hearts. So, okay. So we're doing good with time. I think I might have time for our third card tonight. Which is going to be a fall card, which it doesn't feel like fall here yet, but our humidity has dropped, so it's kind of feeling a little bit better. Let me get my stamps out of the way here. Okay, it says, your friendship is something I know I can count on, and I'm so glad you're in my life. So this is using the Love of Leaves, which was in our catalog last year that they carried over. It's the Love of Leaves and then the Stitched Leaves dies. So let me get my things out here and we'll get started. I need to push some things out of my way, make some room. And I'm using the Elegant Tag Punch. It's the tag that we're using to cut out our sentiment. And the colors that I'm using for my inks is Cinnamon Cider, Pale Papaya, and the Mossy Meadow. And we're using the woven ribbon, the Pale Papaya, and white is the ribbon that we're using. And the paper that we're using is the 2020 to 2022 in colors. And I'm using the Cinnamon Cider out of there. And those are all 6x6, double-sided. So I'm going to get my bits and pieces out here and we'll get started. Okay. So we're going to do a little stamping with this one and a little die cutting, so it might be a little after 7 before we finish, but that's okay. Oh no, Vicki, I'm so sorry. I'll be keeping them in my prayers. Okay, so the card base that we're using is the Cinnamon Cider, and it's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored at 4 1/4 inches, and we're just going to burnish the edge of that. And we've got a piece of white paper, which measures, good question, I don't have my measurements here. Okay, here they are. Okay, the basic white measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then the Designer Series paper is 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches. So we're going to go ahead and use our die to do the edging of our white. And I think I can fit this through my baby boss. Or maybe not. It might be too wide. Nope, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to bring over the big boy. Let me stand up here and reach for it. This is the big boss. Okay, get my plates over here. We've got a base 1 and a 2. And then a cutting plate, which is a number 3. Our paper. We're going to use this die, which is kind of a funny looking die. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah. It doesn't cut, it leaves the little notches in the paper, so it's just kind of interesting. So we're just going to center that onto our one side of our basic white. And we'll run that through. I'll try not to shake the camera too much. Okay. And I might go ahead and use this for all of our die cutting, then I can die cut everything at one time. So let me just move this over for a minute and we'll bring it back. So I don't know if you can see it on camera, the design that it leaves in the paper. But it's kind of interesting. I like it. So we're going to glue that down to the front of our card. Well, first I'm going to glue this down, and then we're going to wrap our ribbon around it. So I'm kind of jumping the gun here a little bit. So let's glue our Designer Series paper down. Okay, and I'm just giving a tiny, tiny white edge on the one side. Now, where did I put my ribbon at? There it is. So we're going to take our ribbon and I'm going to just take some Scotch tape to attach that on the back side. And I'm just going to wrap it alongside that seam. And some more on this side. Try to get it centered. Well, I shouldn't have any hair on my hand anymore after pulling the tape off of it. Okay, my scissors. Paper snips. Snip that off. We can go ahead and glue this down. And I'm going to use my seal. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here in front of me. But this is our Stampin' Seal Plus. And it's more sturdy than what the regular seal is, so it's got more sticking power. I'm going to use that. I'm going to put some over the ribbon to reinforce that a little bit. Oops. Pulled that off too soon. Alright, then we're going to place that on our card. I want to make sure I've got it going the right direction. It's a good thing I checked because it would have been upside down. Okay, we're just going to have a small, tiny border going all the way around. Yeah, I should have had it down a little farther, but that's okay. It's there, I can't move it. And I'll put my lid back on that. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to do some stamping. Let me punch out our tag here. And like I said, this is our elegant tag punch. And I'm just going to punch that out of the cinnamon cider. And we'll stamp our sentiment, which is, your friendship is something I know I can count on. And I'm just going to use the black Memento ink. Being the cinnamon cider is kind of dark, I wanted a dark ink that was going to show up. So I'm going to kind of put this how I want it. I think I'll have it this direction. And I should have used my piercing mat underneath, and I didn't again. But that looks good. Alright, we're done with the black ink. Put that away before I get my fingers into it. And this is kind of go like this. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that. two. Let me put one in the middle. Okay, because it's going to sit on top of the ribbon, so you don't want any on this side, just on this side of the ribbon. Alright, so we're going to set that aside, and we're going to stamp some leaves here, but I'm going to bring my piercing mat over here and do it right. I'm going to start out with the largest leaf, and that's going to be using the cinnamon cider. And I've got a piece of scraps right here. Alright. And don't be surprised because it does leave kind of a, it's like a distinctive kind of stamp, so it doesn't color the whole thing. It leaves kind of a white mark in the middles. But that's the way it's supposed to be. So don't be alarmed when you see that. Alright, so we're going to use the Mossy Meadow to stamp our next leaf, which is a smaller leaf. And the same with that, it won't stamp a solid image. It's kind of a distinctive. Alright, what did I do with that leaf? Let me put that in here out of the way. And then our third leaf is a little tiny one. Whoops, I almost put it in the wrong ink. We're going to use the pale papaya for our small leaf. And I'm going to bring in my other scrap of paper here. I don't want to crowd them. And the same with that. It's alright, so we're done at the stamping on those. So let's bring in our machine again, and we're going to die cut these. See, I'm going to lose my dies here. I'm going to stand up so I can do this and get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so I should be able to die cut all these all at the same time. And this is going to be a two-part to the dies. It's going to have the outer edge, and then it's going to have the inside edge that's going to leave little lines in the leaf. It makes it look more lifelike. So I'm just going to center that on there and use some washi tape to hold it in place. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it's got little ridges. And we're going to place that in the center. And the same with the other two, those are the same. Okay. So washi tape there, and where did it go? Well, I found one. There it is. And then our little one. I need to grab some more washi tape for that. And find the stem of that. And there's the center for it. Oops, put it right side up. It'll work better. Okay. And we just run that through. And I hear things falling here in a moment. Sit back down here. Okay. Washi tape off there. So there's the one leaf. I don't know if you can see them in the little lines in there. Yeah, it is extra detail on them. Otherwise they're kind of plain looking, I think, but with that little extra added detail with the other dyes, it really adds something to them. Alright, and that one, let me put my dye over here. And one more. Right. Oh, here's one hiding here. Yeah, I definitely need to get my magnet bowl and start using it. Okay, so now we're going to arrange our leaves, and we're going to put dimensionals on the right side. So I'm thinking, how do I want this to go? Maybe like this, so one on that leaf and one on that leaf. And the same with this one. And thinking I might put that one there. We're going to put it at this side. And this is going to go on top of our sentiment. Sort of like this here. So we'll put dimensional just on the one side of that leaf. I'll kind of cover the stem a little bit of that green one. So, okay, so we're going to put some glue on the other side that doesn't have the dimensionals. And we'll pop off these. And I think I'll go ahead and place this down so I know what room I've got for the leaves there. Get my sentiment straight. And pop these off and add some glue to the other side. And the same with the small leaf. I just took the stem underneath that other leaf there. Kind of hide it a little bit. Alright, and for the gems on this, I'm going to use the elegantly faceted gems. And I'm going to use the smaller ones. Well, I guess I use the big ones. I'll put two small ones up here and I'll use the big one on there. Okay, so here we have the front of our card. And we need to do the inside. I usually cut up some of the insides ahead of time so I have spares. So in case I need to do another one, I always got an extra. So, alright, so the inside we're going to get that large leaf again. And there should be enough ink on it still. I'm just going to huff on it. and then we're going to stamp it in the bottom right hand corner. Just a little bit of a faint leaf there. I had something on my stamp, but I kind of like that. I don't know what that was. It picked up something out of my tray, I guess. But I kind of like the effect of it. But I couldn't do it again. Alright, so we take our sentiment, which is, I'm so glad you're in my life. And we'll stamp that on the upper left-hand side, kind of. Not quite centered. And move this down to our inside of our card, and then it looks like it's finished. And center that. Okay, so there we have our third and final card for this evening. Okay, so let me get all of our cards out here, and we'll close for this evening. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Make sure that they're all in camera view. That looks good. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this evening and enjoyed the cards. And next week will be the 14th of September, so I'll be back at 6 o'clock again, same time, same channel. And I hope that you're able to join us. So I'm glad you're able to be here this evening, and y'all have a good rest of the week. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. And until next time, bye.